Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive right in. We're talking about that incredible and, yeah, sometimes overwhelming world of your 3-year-old's language development. If you've got a 3-year-old at home, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Something amazing is happening with how they talk, right? And it all kicks off with this. I mean, look at that number. By the time they hit 3, their vocabulary has just exploded. We're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 to 1,000 words. That's a huge, huge leap from just a year ago. And honestly, this is the engine that's going to drive everything else we talk about today. So yeah, welcome to the language explosion. But here's the thing, it's not just about them collecting more words. This is a super important time for communication. It's the foundation for reading, for making friends, for everything down the road. So let's get into it. Let's break down what's actually happening and, more importantly, how you can help them along on this amazing ride. All right, first up, your child's key milestones. Let's look at what you can expect to see during this 3rd year. And, just a quick reminder, every kid is different, they all go at their own speed, but these are the kinds of exciting changes you'll probably start noticing.
So their vocabulary and understanding of concepts, it's about so much more than just pointing and naming things. They're like these little detectives, starting to figure out bigger ideas. They're using descriptive words, so it's not just dog anymore, it's big dog or happy dog. And they're sorting the world out, They get that food goes in one box, clothes in another. They're starting to understand where things fit, literally, with words like in, on, and under.
Okay, now for sentences and grammar. This is where you see the real construction happening. The sentences are getting longer. We're talking 3, 4, 5 words or more. And they're starting to use pronouns like I and you. The basic rules of grammar are just starting to click. You'll hear them add an S for plurals or an ED for the past tense. And even when they get it wrong, like saying I runned, that's actually a fantastic sign. It means their brain is trying to figure out the rules. It's pretty cool.
And this is a big one, comprehension. You gotta remember, what they understand is often way more advanced than what they can say. They can follow 2, even 3-step instructions, which can be pretty surprising. They're also answering all those who, what, where questions. And then there's the why phase. Oh, the why questions. It might drive you a little crazy, but seriously, that is how they are actively piecing the world together. It's their #1 learning tool.
Okay, so you see all this incredible growth happening. The big question is, how can you help? How do you support this over the next year without it feeling totally overwhelming? Well, the good news is we can break it down into a really simple plan. Think about the year in 4 chunks, like this. For the first 3 months, just focus on the basics, building up their vocabulary, encouraging them to string more words together. You can do this just by reading and talking about your day. Then, the next few months, you can start exploring bigger ideas, concepts like big and little. Encourage those why questions. After that, say months 7 to 9, it's all about stories. Pretend play is perfect for this. Practicing conversations, taking turns. And finally, in the last quarter, you're just refining things, helping with grammar, using more descriptive words as you read together. See, it's totally manageable when you break it down. All right, let's get super practical. How do you actually do this stuff every day? The best part is, you don't need fancy flashcards or anything. The absolute best learning happens in those little everyday moments you're already having. And it all comes down to one core idea. Seriously, if you remember nothing else from our chat today, remember this. Model, don't correct. So what does that mean? Well, when your kid says something like, her ran fast, instead of saying, no, it's ran, you just casually say back, wow, yes, she ran very fast. Or if they say, big dog, you can add to it. You're right, that is a big, fluffy dog. See what you're doing there? You're not shutting them down. You're gently showing them the right way while keeping the conversation flowing. And, most importantly, building their confidence to keep trying. So here are a few other things for your daily toolkit. Narrate your day. Seriously, just talk about what you're doing. Okay, I'm putting the blue cups on the table. Ask open-ended questions, not just yes or no ones. So instead of, did you have fun? Try, what was the most fun thing you did today? Expand on what they say, read together every day, and get into that pretend play. All of these little things, just woven into your normal routine, create this amazing language-rich world for them to grow in. Okay, so we're celebrating all this incredible growth, but it's also really important to talk about when you might want to seek a little help. And this isn't about causing worry, not at all. It's about feeling empowered and knowing what to look for just in case. Probably the biggest question parents have is this: what if my kid isn't doing these things? And that is a totally normal and valid question to ask. Just being aware of some potential red flags is a great first step.
So, if you notice that your child isn't really putting words together into sentences, or if they show very little interest in stories, or they're not asking questions, or maybe if their speech is just really hard for even you to understand, these are things worth bringing up. Again, every kid is on their own timeline. But if you see these things consistently, it's never a bad idea to just chat with your pediatrician or a speech therapist. Getting help early can make a huge difference.
So, after all that, the milestones, the plans, the strategies, what's the big takeaway? What's the one thing you need to focus on? It's simple, really. Your core mission is to create a responsive, language-rich environment.
And what does that really mean? It boils down to 3 simple, powerful things. Talk, read, play. That's it. That's how you create that environment. These aren't chores. They are the most powerful tools you have to give your child the words, the connection, and the confidence they need. You're literally building their world, one word at a time. So just remember, this whole language explosion, it's not just about what your child learns to say. It's about what they learned they can say with you.